want a sedan with a little bit of spice? Let us introduce you to the 2025 Hyundai Sonata N line, and we're going to talk about everything that makes the sporty sedan special in the Hyundai lineup, right?
Definitely.
So, Charlotte, let's give a little bit of an insight as to what we're doing today.
All right, so we're actually doing something a little bit different because let's be real, our videos can get a little bit long.
Very long.
So today we are taking an in-depth look at the specific elements the Sonata N line offers. So not a full, complete in-depth walkthrough, but if you want that, don't worry, we have it linked down below in our description. Just taking a look at those exclusive elements and also what we think about them.
Absolutely.
Now this is shot in live time, meaning it's a one-take wonder. So if you have questions about this vehicle, feel free to put them in the chat and we will answer them at our dedicated Q&A time at the end of the video.
Absolutely. Now, shall we get into it?
Let's go.
All right, we're going to start off with the exterior and the powertrain, and since it wears the N-Line badge, you can guess that this vehicle does have a specialized powertrain compared to the other Sonata models. Now, this is by far my favorite vehicle in Hyundai's lineup right now. Maybe not by far, but it's definitely up there. A lot of the times it gets compared to the Elantra N, and maybe we'll make some points towards the end of this video as to why this might be more preferable for a daily drive. Start off with the exterior. We got the ultimate red showcased here today, and I think this is our first for our channel on the Sonata. It looks amazing. It does have a metallic finish, and it just adds to a nice clean and sporty look of this car. The first thing you'll probably notice about the exterior is going to be this daytime running light extending all the way across the front end. That's not a Sonata N-Line exclusive, but it definitely amplifies the sportiness of this specific trim. You have a specialized front grille as well too, so you can see the N-Line badging located on the passenger side of your front end. And there's going to be a lot of this nice satin black finish all surrounding your front grille. You also have a beautiful gloss black housing your front grille and tying in our beautiful forward sensor. So this sensor, it does a lot for you, and more specifically on this trim level, you're going to be introduced to highway drive assist, which is a safety function that not only maximizes your, driver alertness on the road, but it does give you a great benefit of monitoring the speed of the vehicles around you and the highway's posted speed limit. So essentially, it's a smart cruise control, only smarter. It'll make sure you're at a safe distance from the car ahead of you and slow you down if you do hit stop and go traffic. You can change a bunch of settings on this as well too, so the reaction time of it, and it's just fantastic, and it works very, very well. We have done a video on that if you want more in depth as to what highway drive assist does. The lower lip of the vehicle is going to have a nice, almost charcoal finish, so a darker gray, definitely making everything else pop, more specifically the black elements. So there's not too much dark. There's still a lot of, I don't want to say light, but light in this front end. The highlight of this vehicle is the powertrain. So we do have a turbocharged engine, and this is going to be the only engine option available for the N line. It's a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder turbocharged gasoline direct injection plus multi-point injection, so it utilizes both fuel delivery systems. Together, it gives you 290 horsepower with 311 pound-feet of torque. So this is, our highest horsepower Hyundai vehicle that is an electric. It is a ton of fun to drive, seriously so much fun. And if, again, you're someone who wants a vehicle that you can daily drive, that's comfortable, that fits your family, has all the safety functions you want, but again, has some spice, this is a perfect choice for you. So the powertrain is a ton of fun to drive, like I said. The transmission is an 8-speed wet-type dual-clutch transmission. You do get paddle shifters inside if you'd like to manually manipulate your gears. And again, it's just so engaging and so fun. What makes the Sonata N-Line special than the other trim levels, other than the powertrain, is the fact that it has a sport suspension and a sport-tuned exhaust. Now, I don't know if our sound is really going to pick up what the exhaust sounds like and differentiate it and give you the true grasp of how this car sounds, but maybe we'll try it towards the end. Your wheels have a beautiful 19-inch alloy. This is, again, an N-Line exclusive. You have your N badging in the very center cap that looks amazing. You have a Pirelli P0 all-season tire. Nice to see.
Nice.
Yes. And then, of course, larger brakes on this vehicle because we have more power, which means you need more stop and power. Ventilated front disc brakes up front and then solid disc brakes in the rear. And I just love the setup of the wheel. I think it looks so good, even from factory. You do get some N-Line badging on your fenders, and this is going to be a turn signal indicator. You'll notice it's removed from the actual mirror portion where we see it on most cars. I absolutely love this because I think it's more visible to other drivers. You still get the glow for cars ahead of you, but of course cars beside you and behind you will still get a view of it. So it's definitely more visible to everybody. Glossy black mirror caps, that is again exclusive to the N line. Lots of blacked out elements. So it makes this car pop for sure. It's a car that you can look at and tell, okay, it's sporty, it's different. It's not your basic everyday sedan, and I really do like that. Sunroof, so we'll get a better look at that when we get inside, but right now we do have it open. Of course, you have the tilt and fully open function of it, and you do have a bug net. Sleek lines on this vehicle. It definitely has that almost fastback look style, similar to what we had on the Kia Stinger, which I miss so dearly. And another great tech feature that you do acquire on this trim level is digital key to touch. So we'll have Charlotte get a little closer to our door handle. Got a mix of gloss black on the top, and it is proximity entry, except instead of pressing a button, you actually just put your hand behind the handle. The vehicle will unlock as long as you got the key on you. It'll allow you to enter and exit, and then just press the handle again to lock it when you're done. Or if you want to use the actual digital function, you can open, unlock, and start your vehicle with your smartphone, which is very, very handy. So it's a very techy car for sure. You'll notice all your pillars are also gloss black, so making everything match. You do have a little bit of a lip spoiler with some fins as well too, so I do like this design element included. Looks different. I don't think any of our other vehicles have this. And then your taillights. These taillights are beautiful. Full LED, very, very nice, very bright. I noticed I didn't turn the lights on and show you guys the front or the rear, so let's do that now. I'll also show you the brake lights and our hazards. All right, so full lights on. Let's hit the brakes. So you can see your LEDs, and then hazards. And then Charlotte will do a pan of the rear. And once I finish talking about the exhaust, we'll take a look at the front end so you guys can see your full headlight unit as well. So the exhaust, like I said, it is a sport exhaust, so it does have a little bit more rumble than your typical Sonata, and it sounds good too. It sounds very, very nice from factory, not overwhelming. It's not going to snap, crackle, and pop like the Elantra N, but it sounds nice. Nice diffuser along the bottom, and then we have that nice graphite finish again, just tying in and kind of lightening the look of the vehicle. Not too much blacked out elements. You got a mix of everything here. Your actual badging is an aluminum finish, and it's pressed into the trunk, so it's not sticking out too much like a sore thumb. It's nice, sleek, low profile. The Hyundai emblem is actually integrated into the glass pane here, so it's protected. No one's going to steal your Hyundai badge. And then we have a dual twin tip exhaust. All right, I'll open the trunk now so you can see where we're at for space. You do have a smart lift gate on this vehicle, meaning that I can actually just walk up to the back end of my car and it'll open based off proximity to the key, or I can open it directly from the key fob or the driver's front seat. Lots of space over here, seriously so much depth. I can't reach. If my stuff flew all the way to the back of the passenger seat, I won't be able to reach it. I'm gonna have to crawl in there. And if we get maybe 50 likes on this live stream while we're still live, we'll do a trunk test. But till then, we're making you wait.
We're at 31 now, so we only need 20 more, and there's 94 people on.
That's not that much. All right, let's look underneath the floorboard to see what we're working with. And the answer is not a spare tire.
Nothing.
No spare tire, but there is certainly room for one. So if you do want one for the peace of mind, you can definitely place it in there. The vehicle does come with a mobility kit, so if you are experiencing, I don't know, if you pick up a nail or something punctured your tire, you can patch it and get back on the road in probably about 30 minutes. So it's a very quick fix. But if you experience a blowout, I don't know what to tell you. Let's take a look at the front lights. I'm also going to talk about something else that refers to front. Charlotte, I'll meet you there. So this vehicle is front-wheel drive, and that is a pretty hot topic because the trim line below is actually all-wheel drive. Now, why would you still daily drive a vehicle like this if it's front-wheel with the turbo? Well, number one, it's fun. But number two, all-wheel drive isn't exactly a necessity the way a lot of people think it is. Winter tires on this vehicle, it should be no problem, unless you live in a very rural area where you experience a lot of hills and your roads don't get paved. In that case, you might want all-wheel drive. All right, back to our lights. We got full LEDs for your main headlight unit. You do get also our smart or intelligent high beam assist, so very great if you are someone who does a lot of nighttime driving or rural area driving. And again, this lighting setup just looks beautiful. Marker lights, you got your hazards here. Like the way it seamlessly blends in with the rest of the daytime running lights, and it's a very modern yet classic setup. This vehicle doesn't look overly styled, it just looks just right. All right, let's take a look inside.
I just want to point out one thing. If you can tell from this angle, you can see how the turn signal indicator, if it was continued along, it would merge into the Horizon style DRL.
Yeah.
So everything would merge together really nice. So it's a
Everything-
cool angle to show it.
Yeah, everything is just thought right. It's just perfect. This car is rated at 8.8 liters per 100 kilometers for fuel efficiency, and that is combined. So I will say, for a sporty car, that's not that bad.
What type of fuel do you need for this car?
Regular unleaded.
No premium?
No premium.
No race fuel?
No race fuel. So again, easy to drive, easy to daily, comfortable. It's probably the perfect daily, for me at least. Let me know what you guys think though. I'm gonna switch with Charlotte, we'll take over the interior.
I saw a comment come through just saying, from Mario saying, so glad Hyundai hasn't forgotten about sedan owners, and I could not agree more. And I think that this is probably, well, I guess of the only couple that they have, this is probably my favorite sedan that Hyundai offers, and a lot of that, it has to do with the interior. So let's take a look at some of the exclusive features to the N line. I'm just gonna turn off the hazards first. Okay, so you'll probably notice we're gonna have a lot of red details, we're gonna have a lot of N details, and let's take a look at the driver's side door to point those out. So you'll see that all of our door handles are gonna be in a chrome finish, that darker gunmetal chrome, and then we're gonna have some contrast red stitching. All of that is exclusive to the N line. You'll also notice up top, not only are we gonna have memory seats, so you can actually save 2 seating configurations per user profile for a grand total of 4 saved seatings configurations, but we also have an 8-speaker system, and it is a premium sound system as well. It is a Bose premium sound system, like I said, with 8 speakers. And of course, speakers logically ties next to airbags, and there are 9 airbags in this vehicle, which is actually a lot for a vehicle of this size. So very good, very safe should the event of a crash happen. All right, for our seat, I'll show you mine. It is powered, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can adjust the bolster. So we have tons of different ways that we can configure the seat. You're gonna have all of your regular configurations. You're gonna have that 2-way lumbar support. But I think the fact that you are able to adjust the bolster, that way it holds you in nice and tight, really adds to that sporty feel of this vehicle without actually sacrificing on the comfort of this vehicle. These seats, they're a mix of a suede and a leatherette, and they're incredibly comfortable. I'll have Gabby give a better view of them as she comes around. They're also going to be heated for the driver and for the passenger, so very, very comfortable. Just on this side, you can get a little glimpse at some of the darker faux carbon fiber detailing that we have, and then also some red, just some red piping stretching across the dash too. Again, love it. Down below, you can see we have some sport style pedals. Oh, these have a cover on them, but our footrest is showcased there. So very sporty. It's all in the little touches in this vehicle. All right, do you want to come around?
Sure. All right, we're not going too in-depth on everything today, and we have done a video full depth of the Sonata N line. If you'd like to check that out, I believe Charlotte linked it. Another thing that the Sonata N line offers is the rain sensing wipers. So the trims below do not feature that. But I don't know if that's necessarily a make or break for this car.
I don't know. I feel like that's probably not the reason why you're buying this vehicle.
I went for the turbocharged engine and the rain sensing
wipers.
wipers.
Stayed for the rain sensing wipers.
There you go.
All right, so here's the seats, and like I said, they're a gray, they're a mix of a suede and a leatherette, which is the best of both worlds, because it doesn't get too hot, and it heats up quickly with your heated seats. So best of both worlds. You even have some end embossing in the center and lots of beautiful red contrast stitching and also piping around the side. For your seat, tell me about the configuration.
So it is a manual seat for the passenger. You do get a height adjustment as well as the backrest adjustment, and then of course with the bar down here you can adjust the position, how close it is to the front or the rear.
A set it and forget it seat, that's how you know it's a real sport style seat, guys.
Just to add on what Charlotte said though about how this is the perfect combination for a seat, number one, it's not black, so it's actually just a nice, it's not even that dark of a gray, it's a medium gray.
It's not like charcoal or anything like that.
But a lot of people ask why this vehicle doesn't have ventilated seats, and I will say the suede does not get as hot in the summer, so you're not going to have that burning sensation that leather gives you.
It's very nice for sure, and also having the suede is just a little bit more of a sportier accent. I find that it holds you in a little bit more too, less slippage in the buttocks area, but it's incredibly comfortable as well. I know that even when I sat in these seats this morning when we were picking it up, I was like, oh my goodness, this is such a comfortable seat.
Yeah.
And a lot of people think that sedans aren't necessarily comfortable because they're lower to the ground or maybe because of mobility, and of course there's going to be some valid reasoning there, but the seats themselves are very comfortable. This cabin is very spacious. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I'm able to kind of puff myself out and have a little bit more space, especially in the arm room, in the leg room for sure. And even just the width when it comes to the design, we have a crash pad style center console here. that is a cushioned leather, so I can rest that, use that as an armrest. Out here on the armrest, it comes out a decent amount, so if I do want to rest it while I'm driving, it gives me that nice usable room, very comfortable. Of course, this vehicle being a sedan and being a Hyundai, it's going to be compared to the Hyundai Elantra a lot, but you're going to notice such a difference in the interior. The Elantra, I say, you know, it's definitely very sporty. We have the N variant of it, but I'd say it's more driver focused than being overall passenger focused. And this is where you're going to see the difference. This is incredibly passenger focused, and it's uncomfortable for everyone. Comfortable for everyone. It sounded like I said uncomfortable for everyone. It's not. It's very comfy. Okay, so let's talk about the screens that we have in the steering wheel too. I guess I'll actually start with the steering wheel. It is that same nice gray leather, leatherette with some perforated detailing too. We have N badging down at the bottom. We have contrast red stitching. We have a dark chrome and a Morse code for H in the center. And then behind us, we're going to have our paddle shifters as well, which Gabi mentioned, because we do have lots of free area, lots of free real estate in the center console because we have a column mounted shift-by-wire. So no traditional gear shift, which means we have to manually manipulate with our paddle shifters if you want to do so. Lighting stock, wiper stock is pretty straightforward. And then for my screens, I have dual 12.3-inch screens. We are operating with a full CCNC software. So that is Kia's and Hyundai's new software. It's got navigation and it has the capacity for over-the-air software updates, which is absolutely fantastic. I'll cycle through this screen just to be quick. You can see that you can have your navigation set through there, your safety features as well, and then also how the vehicle responds to you as a driver. Now, because this is also the N line, you can also get some more information here, such as the oil temperature, the amount of torque, and then also your PSI down at the bottom. Very cool, very cool. So fun. Over on the screen, this is obviously where the magic is going to be. You can already see we've got our navigation set up. We are operating with a wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with an absolutely fantastic connection. I love this, which means you can stream mine and Gabi's podcast completely wirelessly every Sunday. From here, of course, swipe. It's completely customizable. You can move these around depending on which one you like to use the most. And I'm actually going to pop up into setup too, because from here we can go to vehicle. We're going to go to drive modes, because Gabi talked a lot about the powertrain for this vehicle and also the fact that we have the option for different drive modes. But not only do we have a preset one, we actually have a customizable My drive mode. So drive there a lot. And from here you can actually choose what that's going to look like. So with that sport tune suspension, you can choose to have a more of a sportier powertrain, a more sporty steering, or mix and match it together to create the perfect combination for you. Very nice. I'm also going to pop into lights because we have ambient lighting. You can probably see it down here, which can be linked to your drive mode. And I think I'm going to go for a red. So you can see it changing. It's underneath the dash. There's also a couple little areas in the vehicle where this is going to show. But I love ambient lighting, especially with a premium sound system. I think it looks so good, so cool. All right, okay, we're gonna work on wrapping this up. Red detailing here, this is all pretty straightforward. With your climate control, we do have a wireless phone charger in this trim, and then your drive mode select as well, so if you wanna put it into that My Drive, you definitely can. I already mentioned more of these sportier accents, such as our crash pad here, and then up top we have a not black, but a dark gray headliner with that sunroof too, adding to the more overall sporty vibe. Let's hit the back seat. Back seat, still a very premium feel. These are still going to have a good amount of width to them for an armrest. We're going to have the same suede insert for our two main seats, a very wide middle seat as well, and drop-down cup holders and armrest. Now, one thing I will say is that the materials back here still feel very premium. You'll also notice how big our sunroof is too. The fact that it extends back here to still let in some light with this dark headliner is very nice. With our venting back here, these toggles, they are a darker chrome, but even something as small as this feels a little bit more luxe, a little bit more sporty touch, which shows me that there's intentionality in the entire design of the vehicle. Okay, I think that's really going to wrap up what we have as far as inline exclusive elements in this vehicle, so I think that we should open it up and do some questions.
Sure.
Yeah?
I'll give you this.
So if you guys have specific questions about this vehicle or the N-Line in general, now is definitely going to be the time to ask them. And like I said, if you want to go and take a look at our video that has done, guys, every day I fail with this gimbal, that does a full and complete walkthrough of this trim. We already have that posted and it's already linked down below.
All right. I did kind of tease in the beginning that we can talk about why one may choose this over the Elantra N and how even though they are sporty sedans, they're not exactly built equally. So the Elantra N is a fantastic car, but it's definitely more uncomfortable because it's race ready. That is a car that you can take to the track, but also drive to work and still get decent fuel consumption. However, you may notice it's got a very stiff ride, a very, very stiff ride. It's got a limited slip diff. It's got electronic stability control. Well, this one has it too, but it's rough. Like it can be very, very rough and very, very rigid. That body is so rigid, and I mean that's necessary for a track car. But is it something you want to haul your family around in for long drives every single day? Maybe
Probably not. Also,
Maybe
the inclusion
not.
of the roll race.
Yeah, but some people are totally okay with that, and they know that going into it.
Yeah.
This is definitely a car that is a little bit more luxe. There's more space. There is advanced technology that the Elantra doesn't have yet, but it makes more sense for the everyday drive, and they are very, very close in price point. So very, very close. What's your favorite trim of the Kona in the U.S. or Canada?
Ooh. I like the N-Line Ultimate. That's nice. The Sport package was cool. That's a new trim or new package this year, which gives you a little bit more of an increased powertrain, but still keeping it relatively economical. So there's a Kona for everyone. My goodness, there's so many Konas out there. Is that wireless Apple CarPlay I see, and is that not in the Elantra? This is wireless Apple CarPlay. It is not in the Elantra with the bigger screen because it is operating with a different software, which does not have the capacity for wireless CarPlay. But however, once we see the next refresh, the interior refresh on the Elantra, that's when we should be seeing this updated software.
I love how this car looks. So glad Hyundai hasn't forgotten about us sedan owners. I'm glad too. It's hard finding a nice sedan out there right now.
And this is a good looking sedan. I love this. And every time I drive a sedan, because I'm an SUV driver, I'm reminded of how much I enjoy them and how nimble they are. And just, yeah, I really love this vehicle.
We got asked who was in that thumbnail. That was actually Zoran.
That was Zoran.
Zoran's not on right now, but yeah, we did.
He's
see
working apparently. We tried to confirm it. It didn't work.
What's one item you can't live without? They didn't specify if this was for cars or
just life.
Or life.
Air. Oxygen.
But I will say for cars, I feel like now that I've had it, I can't go without it. Apple CarPlay.
That's what I was gonna say.
But you can add that into any car, really. So.
Yeah, I love Apple CarPlay. I'm gonna say air conditioning.
Airbags. Yeah. Okay.
Couple zones.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. Would you choose this or the K5 GT? So. Unfortunately, we no longer get the K5 GT in Canada. I really did like it, but the software and I think the look of this is way...
I think it's more sleeker.
Yeah, it's way better than the last K5 we had. If we had the updated 2025 still available, I'd probably pick the K5. I think I'm a little bit more a fan of the way that one looks, interior-wise, but I do like the exterior of this better. I wish I could merge them both. Mechanically, though, they are the same car. Okay. Any news about the EV3 or the EV5? Nothing official, unfortunately.
Nothing official.
Let's see. How does the bug net work? Bug flies in. Yeah. They get caught in there. All right, we should probably end off today's video.
Yeah, probably. We said we were trying to keep it short, and now we're at 23 minutes.
Yeah. That's all right. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions about this vehicle or any of the vehicles in the Kia Hyundai lineup, make sure you leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to like. I noticed we didn't do a trunk test today, and I don't think we will. I lied. I'm sorry.
Dang.
I'm sorry. Should we do it? I don't really want to get in the trunk.
I'll do it. I'll get in the trunk if you want.
Oh. Okay. Let's flip this. Oh, that didn't work.
I will say one of my favorite things is having a rear trunk release. That is so important. Oh, I'm getting too old for this. Okay, so if I sit here with my back to it, my feet do not touch the seats, and I'm wearing heels, so I have an extra like 3 inches, 2 inches. If I go diagonal, I'm very comfortable, as you can tell.
And horizontal.
Ooh, okay. So this is using the max amount of space.
So are your feet touching?
Yeah, I made them touch, yeah. And I kind of have to like shove my back to recline. So honestly, it's surprisingly spacious.
Yeah, it's actually the opening, you can tell how big the opening really is, but the depth of this trunk is where it really shines. This thing is huge.
Absolutely. If you can get past the opening, you're going to be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
So parents, don't sleep on a sedan. Don't sleep on a sedan. It will fit your stroller. It will fit your pack and play.
I can't do that. I will say, my family, when I was a kid, we had a Magentis, and my dad and my brother played hockey. Hockey bags fit in the back of sedans.
Yeah, don't sleep on it.
You make it work. All right, that's it for today's video, you guys. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Smooches.
Leave a like if you're still on, please.